friends, welcome back to our channel. Today my brother is going to tell the second 10th class lesson, English lesson, which is called Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom.
Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela and that describes the struggle for freedom of black people in South Africa. On 10th May 1994, Nelson Mandela took the oath as the first black president after more than 3 centuries of white rule. He assured his fellow countrymen that his country would not experience similar suppression of one group over another, while taking his bow as the first black president of South Africa. He established democracy in the country and assured that there would be no discrimination of people irrespective of caste, creed, color or race, and assured that the government would always treat all of the people of the country with due respect and equality. He calls it a common victory for justice and for peace, for human dignity. He says that it has taken the sacrifice of thousands of courageous people to overturn the policy of apartheid. Now, apartheid was a political system in South Africa that discriminated black people and white people, where white people had superiority and black people were treated unfairly. So, the lovely day of inauguration was symbolic for Mandela. As the South African people sang 2 national anthems, the Vision of White sang Nkosi Sikelel Africa and black sang Stem, the old anthem of the Republic. All these events reminded Mandela how the black-skinned people were exploited by the white people earlier. He deeply felt the pain of his race and said that this type of suppression and racial domination of the white-skinned people against the dark-skinned people on their own land gave rise to one of the most harshest and inhuman societies that the world had ever seen. He strongly believed that no one was born to hate the other person just on the basis of skin color, background or religion. He says that people must learn to hate initially, as if they learn to hate, they can be taught to love, as love comes more naturally to humans than hate. He also mentioned that a person becomes brave not because they feel afraid, but because they know how to conquer their fears. Mandela also stated that every man in his life has 2 obligations. The first one being towards his family, to his parents, children and wife. The second one being towards his motherland, countrymen and community. These are the twin obligations that everyone is able to fulfill according to their own interests and inclinations. However, these both obligations are very difficult to fulfill as a black man in a country like South Africa before the democratic waves took over the nation by storm. When Mandela became an adult, he realized that his freedom is merely an illusion and a temporary nature for the black-skinned people of his country. Mandela said that freedom was indivisible for all. The people of his color and race were bound to the chains of oppression and tyranny. Mandela knew that the oppressor must be liberated just like the oppressed, because a person who snatches another's freedom is a prisoner of similar oppression. Thus, the oppressor is also not free and feels shackled in the chains of oppression himself. That brings us to the end of our summary. If you like this video, make sure leave a like, subscribe.